Name a quirky, lovable scientist who wears a bow tie with his lab coat. You're probably picturing Bill Nye, but I'm actually talking about this guy, Leo.
Petrochemicals are used to make products that you use every day. Wait here, Piper. Products like aspirin, clothing, earbuds.
Unlike Bill Nye, Leo's funded by the oil and gas industry, and his goal is to persuade young kids to see big oil positively. He's just one tool big oil is using to influence the public school system in places like Oklahoma and Ohio.
They're only talking really about oil and gas, how beneficial it is, but what's missing from that is sort of the downsides of petroleum.
Hey guys, I'm Shreen, and today we've partnered with the Center for Public Integrity to bring you a story about how the school curriculum is being developed by oil and gas interests.
You see, Oklahoma oil and natural gas can be used to make thousands of things we use in our homes, schools, and businesses daily, but only once refined.
It's engaging, right? Can you imagine being a fifth grader and your teacher uses this as a science lesson? That's exactly what's happening in Oklahoma. Jenny Zhao, a reporter for the Center for Public Integrity, and Joe Wirtz of State Impact Oklahoma spoke to teachers opting to get their lesson plans from some not-so-neutral sources.
You kind of look at climate change understanding as it exists today, how it's become so politically polarized. And I think this story kind of gives you insight into why kids might have such mixed messages on climate change itself.
This story is also really fascinating because of the range of pro-oil materials and how many teachers are using them. That Bill Nye knockoff I showed you earlier, Lab Time with Leo, has been used by 11,000 educators in their classrooms. The industries even develop materials for super young students. Petro Pete's Adventure is aimed at the kindergarten crowd, telling kids they wouldn't even be able to brush their teeth without petroleum products. Here's the background. Oil and gas is big business in Oklahoma. So big, in fact, it's hard to sum up in just one number. They spend $5 billion to pay thousands of employees and $10 billion on building wells. And there's a whole bunch of secondary spending, also worth billions. That's all in just 1 year. Meanwhile, the Oklahoma school system is broke. In 2016, state officials cut more than $30 million from the public school budget. That led to school closures, layoffs, and cutting classes to only 4 days a week in some schools. Amid these tough times, educators are turning to the Oklahoma Energy Resources Board for supplies. That's the oil-funded organization that created Leo and Petro Pete.
It's great that they want to go out and help teachers. I have to provide pretty much all my materials for myself and for my classroom. And to get $300 worth of kit for free is fantastic.
And they've spent nearly $40 million since 1996 on after-school programs, curriculum, and other educational resources. They also sponsor petroleum-related field trips and reimburse teachers for supplies. That's a big deal since a lot of teachers spend hundreds of dollars of their own money on students. And a few $100s really counts in Oklahoma, where teacher salaries are among the lowest in the nation. Lawmakers decided to continue giving Big Oil $470 million in tax breaks, despite the school budget shortfall. And it's not just Oklahoma. In Ohio, the oil and gas industry has been sponsoring teacher field trips on key issues like fracking.
All I knew about fracking was what was in the media. The media and what I've known so far seems very skewed from what it is.
According to their website, the Ohio Oil and Gas Energy Education Program also sponsors teacher workshops, scholarships, and science fairs. In Salineville, Ohio, they've gone a step further by supporting a public charter school where students earn drilling certifications. Oil and gas play a big role in the lessons taught at this publicly funded school. Why does this matter? Well, besides 5-year-olds being highly impressionable, this raises bigger questions about whether we should be allowing corporations in the classroom at all. And it's a bit of a legal gray area. Decisions about what gets taught in schools are made largely at the state and district levels. The federal government has little involvement, which means there's an opportunity for companies to write lessons that reflect their agenda. This is also important because it's happening in classrooms where students may not definitively hear that climate change is man-made. And it is. In Oklahoma, lawmakers have been pushing to loosen science standards, especially on global warming. Meanwhile, the oil-funded organizations writing these books and lesson plans are misleading about their role in climate change. The Ohio Oil and Gas Energy Education Program, on the same website where they post lesson plans for teachers, also reposts articles with headlines like this: "Fossil fuels have made the earth cleaner, not dirtier," which is not true. And their environmental fact sheet highlights how fracking adds water to the planet. It doesn't. The average fracking well uses over 2 million gallons of water. And bizarrely, that same fact sheet claims that crude oil and natural gas are the first alternative fuels and save whales from extinction. Alternative fuels is a term often used to describe green energy, so its use in this context is misleading. As for the Oklahoma Energy Resources Board, they just avoid using the term climate change altogether. But this information is not isolated to Oklahoma and Ohio. A similar organization, the National Energy Education Development Project, created materials to roll out nationwide. A 2014 packet published by the group teaches students that some scientists think it's too soon to tell if the Earth is really warming, and a little warming might be a good thing for the Earth. NEED is funded by energy giants BP, Shell, and dozens of corporations who want to get to kids early. So what do you need to know about the oil industry? It's in your car, plastics, and even your classrooms. Hey, thanks for watching. We were really lucky to partner with the Center for Public Integrity to bring you this fascinating research. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.